what's up? This is GVKCollectibles today, and today's Mythical Mountain Monday, of course. Auction, so today, it's Sunday right now, but when you're seeing this video, it's going to be up on Monday. Pretty self-explanatory. So, the auction was pretty great the other day. A lot of good stuff, there was a lot of high-priced, there were some more kind of cool books. It was the monthly recap. So basically it was just stuff that either was completely missed out or they're going to be starting doing this monthly now. Not monthly, the auctions are still going to be a weekly occurrence. It's just that once a month, there'll be, at the end of the month, there'll be a recap to say, hey, this is everything that didn't go claimed. So it's pretty cool. Got a lot of cool books to show off, but first things first, because when I went in there today, I did get some just stuff not on the auction, so I'm going to start with those. So the first one I'm going to start with is Sword of X Creation. Now this is the beginning of the X of Swords event for X-Men that covers pretty much all the X-Men books at the time. If you've read X-Men, God, I can't remember what issue, but it was the most recent issue, and Excalibur 2, so if you've been keeping up with this, is an event to keep in check. It's going to be kind of like an apocalypse-centric event, which is kind of cool, and it's going to be interesting. Like, the issue X-Men, the previous X-Men issue leading up to this was really interesting, so it's going to be interesting, cool. I think it's going to be a cool series. I'm going to be reading it regardless. I mean, it's part 1 of 22, so it's going to be a long event, and this is throughout all the X-Men books. I read most of them with exceptions, I think, of Cable, Wolverine, and I believe Marauders, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, excited to read that. This one just caught my eye in the store just in general. It was, I think it is the sequel to Batman Spawn. Well, it's Batman Spawn. I think the first one was Spawn Batman. But there's a lot more. It doesn't have Frank Miller on it, where I read that book. While that book is awesome, it shows the decline of Frank Miller, going to be a little loopy, just how he writes his dialogue with Batman. It's very, like, if you want, like, a pre-Batman, Batman and Robin, the boy, like, all-star Batman and Robin, that is the book to read. But this one, pretty cool, a lot of cool arts. It's also that kind of classic, the Neil kind of Adams design for Batman with the orange, like the orange logo, the orange background with the logo, kind of like one that you see with Michael Keaton. So yeah, this one, I'm interested to see how this one is. The next one, so I'll save the last one that I got, but these two are the X-Men God Loves, Man Kills by Chris Claremont. These are the extended editions, so basically what that is, there's a few extra, like, scenes. I don't know if they're done by Brett Eric Anderson. I don't know if it's done by him, the extra parts, but it's essentially a reprinting of that story. And for those of you who don't know, if you've seen X2, this is pretty much, X2 is based off this storyline, with a few differences here, like, Stryker is not a military general in this. He's actually a televangelist, which is actually really cooler, and it pushed kind of the boundaries of it's a cool story. Like, I haven't read it all the way, but I've seen people cover it, and it's a cool story. So, and I got 1 and 2. This one has kind of this really cool art, and, well, they're both art covers are pretty good, so I'm excited to read this one. And the last one, this was on the auction, but it was reduced in price, but it is the Amazing Spider-Man 601, and it's the very iconic Mary Jane cover by J. Scott Campbell, which I think this, for me, this was kind of a definite get. I was debating whether to get it or not on the auction, just because it was a little higher price point, but then I went to the store, and it was actually, Tony lowered the price of it, just because there was some ticks on the side of it. But, like, I'm easy with that. I mean, I'm not, like, I collect it, but, like, I'm not like, this needs to be, like, great, like a 9.8. I'm not that. But it's a wonderful cover. I think it's a very iconic cover. It had the slideshow statue made of it, so yeah, it was definitely a no-brainer and a get for me. before I get into my actual auction stuff, I know there's one more. I just wanted to show this one off. This was my best friend Mitch. We were watching the auction together, and he actually got he got one thing. But it's actually a really cool. It is the Blade Runner, a Marvel adaptation of the story of Blade Runner. So this came out, I believe, 80s. Had to be 80s. So yeah, the official adaptation of the new science fiction thriller starring Harrison Ford. And it's really cool. Like, the art looks really cool. I was a little jealous because I wanted to get this, but he got it before me, but like, that's fair. He got it before me, which is fine. But yeah, it looks cool. The new series by, I think, Titan Studios right now, Blade Runner 2019, is really good. It's actually going to spawn off into, I think, Blade Runner 2026, I believe? Oh no, it's like Blade Runner 2030, I believe. So there's going to be a jump. So I think there's going to be subsequent stories of it leading up to Blade Runner 2049, which is cool. But yeah, really cool, really wonderful art on it. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Cheers to my buddy. So this is pretty much all the comics that I got. There's actually more stuff to show off, but let's start with comics because that's kind of the bread and butter for the auction itself. So what I got, this is actually a newer comic, I believe, but it is Spawn 300, and it is a homage cover to, I think, Amazing Spider-Man 100. And it looks really awesome. Looks kind of vintage looking, like the old Marvel comics, like the old Spider-Man comic. Looks really cool. While I don't read Spawn, I like the character's design, and I think he's relatively cool. He's a cool drawing, but I actually have that initial book, like the first, I think the first volume, so I actually need to read it, because the art's really great in it. McFarlane's art's fantastic. There I go using fantastic, but you gotta get used to it. Here is another series that I love. Something is Killing the Children by Boom Studios. It was written by James Typhoid, I believe, if I'm pronouncing that right. But he's currently doing Batman right now, and man, this book, each issue, even though he is deep in Batman right now, I think as Steve said like a few weeks ago, the issues, like, each issue hits. It's so good. Like, the last issue, the previous issue, was really, really good, because it's like, stuff's going crazy on it. I can't really say, but it's really a really wonderful cover, I think. Been one of my favorite series, and it's been one of the ones that I'm glad that I picked up, because it was just like, because I saw the variant cover, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Then start to read the story, and it's like, this is awesome. So it's a very cool, like, if you, since October's coming around the corner, if you want to get into horror comics, this is a good one to get in. I would consider it kind of horror mystery, but it's a really, really good, a great book. I don't know which issue this, I think it's issue number 6. This is a variant that was limited to certain stores, but it's really, really cool. Keeping up with, well, let's just say, with Marvel, this is another Marvel, it's Magic from New Mutants #1. I actually saw this when I decided to start to read other X-Men books, because I think at that point I was just reading Excalibur and X-Force at that point. Then I jumped on New Mutants because Hickman is writing it, and I needed to hop on the main book, and the main book's been really good. But New Mutants has been pretty fun. It's a fun book. Wonderful art, wonderful variant cover featuring Magic, who's in the New Mutant, so if that new movie, so hopefully we get to see them in the MCU, hopefully, but, you know. And here we have Moon Knight. So this is a premiere issue. I think this was Moon Knight's first solo series, and Moon Knight, for a lot of people, they consider him to be kind of the Batman of Marvel, which is, like, that is definitely the case. But the interesting thing is, like, Mark Spector actually has different personalities, so he has this, and he's kind of, like, crazy to say, but, like, the stories with him are wonderful. They're really great. And he's also, like, he's a pretty cool drawing. I got this one just because he is probably going to be in the MCU. He would have been a perfect fit for the Netflix stuff, but unfortunately that's no longer a thing anymore. But hopefully we get to see more of those characters appear in more stories. So, before we continue, I'm just going to stop real quick because the camera's about to go out, so I'll be right back. And we're back. So, so keep on, well, I'll do that one first. So, this one I already got, but it was one that I wanted to get again anyway, just because they are, it is Predator #1 from Dark Horse. Now, this cover is phenomenal. Like, it is so, it's just so iconic and so really great. I mean, it's so iconic that NECA made a figure of this figure, and it's like, because I have him exactly posed like this. I try to keep him in the box, but that didn't working out. But this is a really, really beautiful cover. Beautiful art. It's that kind of Dark Horse style that I really love about Dark Horse comics. They have really a lot of cool, unique artists on the books. I actually haven't read the original story, so I need to purchase the Ombus because I've read Cold War, which is the sequel to this, and Cold War is really, really cool because it's just it's it's Predators. But yeah, it's a wonderful cover, beautiful. Really sad to see them go from Dark Horse, but excited to see what Marvel has in tow. I hope we get to see, well, we'll get into that later. But yeah, Predator #1. Now, the next one, keeping up the Dark Horse train, it is Aliens #1. Now, I don't know the significance of this one. I believe it is the first appearance of not the first appearance, but it's like the first Alien book. And it's pretty cool. Like, the art, that cover, let alone, is very iconic. A lot of the Dark Horse, like, art is very iconic, including the cover arts for the Alien series, and just Alien in general. So, it's really cool. You get to see this, like, warrior climbing down, like, going through this kind of shaft. Not shaft, but, like, the hallway from, like, LV-426, which looks really cool. Don't have the other issues, but I'm trying to collect as much of the Dark Horse stuff as possible, or that stuff gets raised up in price. Another one is Dark Horse Presents, and I believe this is actually the first appearance of the Alien in Dark Horse comics. So Dark Horse, of what I'm aware of back in the day, they had issues of where they were introducing new characters and stuff. They would do it through this, then usually that character would spawn off into its own series. I think Mask is another example of that. But we have the Alien, we have Homicide, the Race of the Scorpions, and Aliens, which I don't know what these two are, so you could definitely tell, and I think this was just number 24. It was just a kind of cool ongoing story. It's kind of weird that comic books don't do this anymore, but, you know, it probably costs money to see, but it's also a good idea to see what will sell. Aliens has been a big seller for Dark Horse, so, and once again, sad to see it go, even though I've said it many times. Excited to see what Marvel does. I hope we get to see some cool stories within, like, expanded stories from the movies. So, yeah. So that's Alien. So here we have Wonder Woman 85. And it's really, really, really cool, like, art style. It also has the rare DC Universe logo. This is apparently a really, really rare logo that they did. But it also has a really cool one. I really dig that DC logo. I think that one and the one before New 52 were, like, my favorite logos for DC. But I do dig the new DC logo right now. But really cool. I mean, I don't know the context of the issue, but Wonder Woman looks like she's getting attacked by a bat kind of thing. So, yeah, it's, I mean, really cool. Really cool looking. Here we have, so these next few are going to be ultimately kind of variants, except for the last one. Here we have Detective Comics 1007. This was a story that featured the Spectre, and it's a really cool variant cover. I really dig these variant covers, because I think the artist who's doing the variant covers right now for this, like, who did the variant cover for this, he's doing the variant covers for Batman, I think, right now. I could be completely wrong about that, don't take my word for it, but it's just really cool. You got Spectre in there and Batman, and the story, I need to read it because it is Tomasi, Peter J. Tomasi, and I've really dug Detective Comics. Detective Comics was, like, the first, after a while, it was the first book that I got back in DC and stuff, so, but yeah, I mean, DC, like, Tomasi's really good, and I kind of read, it feels like, to me, Detective Comics, for me at least, it feels like it's a Batman the Animated Series story, even though there is the Batman The Adventures Continue story, which is really good, too. But yeah, really cool variant cover from, I don't know the artist, but he's phenomenal. Here's another one. So this one is actually kind of a recent book. It is Dark Knight's Death Metal. It's a variant cover with featuring Wonder Woman, which, like, I've not read the story at all for Death Metal or Metal. But man, I love Wonder Woman's design, like post-apocalyptic looking design. It's so really cool. And this variant is phenomenal. It's so beautiful. Like, I'll be posting a lot of these on Instagram, so you get to see a little them up close. Oh my god, sorry. Light doesn't do it justice because of the glare on the paperback. But really cool cover. Keeping up with the Wonder Woman train. This is Wonder Woman 69. Nice. Nice. And it's just really, really cool. I dig the Wonder Woman's design in DC Universe, aka DC Rebirth. Well, it's post Rebirth now. It's now DC Universe. But she just looks really cool. It looks a lot like the how like movies are, like when there's a movie coming out for a comic book character and they'll do whatever they can to make that character similar to that one. The costumes are very similar, which I'm okay with because I think the Gal Gadot costume is really good. The Rebirth design by Jim Lee, really good too, and I think it's kind of persisted. It stayed the same pretty much, like, and even in Justice League Dark, that's how Wonder Woman looks like. So it looks pretty cool. So for the last comic for right now, then we'll get into some other stuff. It is Justice League #1 from the New 52, written by Jeff Johns with Jim Lee on the drawing. Oh my god. On the art. There we go. I couldn't say it. I didn't read the New 52. Like, I kind of was late bloomer into the New 52. Like, I started, like, reading DC when Batgirl got her redesign and she was going to go to Burnside and everything. So that was, like, post Gail Simone run, which I actually really like, and I have that complete run, that last half run of the New 52, which I really love that run. But the design, like, just, oh my god, just everything about this cover, like, the Jim Lee art is fantastic. Jeff Johns is a really good writer, too. Really changed up DC as a whole. I think he's writing 3 Jokers right now, which is really cool. So, yeah, I mean, that is it for the comics, pretty much. So, before I jump into what else I got from the store, these are just going to be primarily figures. And, well, there's actually one more thing. So, this one I showed off on my Instagram a while ago, but I just thought it was too cool not to share on camera. It is Trick or Treat, the Sam's 10th anniversary, this collection. So, this is an omnibus collected of the story. Ugh, God, I'm running out of breath. But, so what this is, it is a comic book adaptation of the movie Trick or Treat, which is a pretty great overall film. And it also includes 4 separate stories, and one of them written by Michael Dowry. So I haven't cracked it yet, but like, just I'll show you a quick snippet. It's like, that's really cool because that's actually kind of close to what Sam's design was in the Seeding's Greetings short, animated short. But the art style is really cool. Really, kind of has that kind of grungy, kind of like horror comic look to it, which looks really great. I think each artist takes up a different story, essentially, which is kind of great. Like, because those are generally the comics I enjoy. Rage Against Time, Godzilla in Hell. Those are really, really cool stories that have, like, you have different art teams working on. So, that's pretty much it for the comics section, so let's get on to the figures. So, I'm going to start out with the Mythical Mountain stuff, because that's primarily the stuff that I got. But I got some more stuff, too. But, so, I think for the first one I'm going to start out with, it is this guy. This is the cloth 8-inch Ghostface from Scream. I actually have not had a Ghostface figure, so they actually have a Ultimate figure coming out too, which I plan on getting that one, but this one is really, really cool. The cloth figures, I think, are slowly kind of getting into collecting them. I only have a few. I have a Herbert West, I have the Nun, I have Pamela Voorhees from from Friday the 13th Part 3, where she's all decayed, and my favorite, I think, are the kids from Halloween 3 with all the different masks. That set is really cool. If you don't have that set, I would definitely pick it up. But yeah, like, he looks really, really cool, and you also get that cool art style by, where's the art style? Photography, packaging. Oh, Justin Osborne. So that art is, this art right here on the card is done by Jason Osborne, as I think a lot of the art for these particular figures are done by Jason Osborne. And if you've seen Jason, you've seen his art before. He usually does like a lot of cool covers for like for Shout Factory releases and everything, which they look great. So yeah, that's Ghostface. So the next one is, well, I'm going to save that one for last. So, next one I got is King Kong. Now, this one was a surprise figure that they announced, like, and I didn't even expect them to get the Kong license, but, man, I think you'll be seeing, with the exception, I think, of the Ghostface, you'll see reviews pretty much of all these guys, but they're not going to be like how the blue one was, where I just got it, and I'll review it that day. These, I think I want to take some time and play with them to kind of get used to them. But, like, it looks really cool. Like, it's not exactly Kong 33, but is pretty damn close to what King Kong looked like in 1933. So, yeah, that's King Kong. And the last one, well, one of the last ones, the Predator, the Lost Predator, aka the Borg from Predator 2. This guy is great. If you guys saw the our top 5 collectibles that we have, the Hot Toys version of this guy ranked, I think like number 2 or 3. I can't remember. Although, sorry about that, guys. Camera cut out again. But yeah, it's really, really great. The art design, let me try to find who the art, where's your signature, dude? Crap, I can't think of the artist off the top of my head, but he did a great job with the Lost Predator. So this is basically a 2.0 ultimate style of NECA's Lost Predator. There were two. There was a maskless version, there was a masked version, and a maskless. The cool thing about this guy, the mask is completely unique and different comparative to the Hot Toys one, where they took a lot of cool design liberties, which was really cool. And you also get pretty much all the other boys in the Lost Tribe. I think the only other one currently right now, the ones that we know of, I think the next one is probably going to be a Scout, which I'm excited about that one. That one looks really great. But yeah, I can't wait to crack this guy open. He looks really, really great. He's the first in the 30th anniversary series. So yeah, you would think that'd be it. But no, there's more. So, with the recent news, well, at least to me, I didn't know Batgirl, Barbara Gordon was going to stop being Batgirl, and her series got canceled. I was like, oh boy, I can't wait to read Batgirl 49, and then I realized, oh, issue 50 is going to be the last issue, and I'm like very upset, because Barbara Gordon was the reason I got into DC Comics, so I'm very sad, but it's not like she's going to be going away. They didn't kill her off or anything. It's just she's probably going to be taking a different role within the DC universe, which is okay. But it is the McFarlane Batgirl, and man, what I gotta say is, McFarlane's been killing it with the DC figures, in my opinion. A lot of the stuff he recently announced, like death metal stuff, dark metal, or death metal, I believe, and like the movie figures, he's doing an Arkham Knight Batman, which I'm definitely going to get because I love that suit. I can't wait for his version of Pattinson's Batman, because I'm definitely getting that figure. But yeah, it's a really cool figure. It's also a builder figure, kind of. Comes with a piece of the Batmobile, which I really love, because it's got that weird kind of shield, but it's essentially the animated Batmobile. But yeah, she looks really good. She looks really phenomenal, so I can't wait to get her out of the box. You may see a review of this, but let me know in the comments of what figures you would like to see reviews of, because I do plan on doing pretty much most of these review. So, and as you saw from the previous video, the previous figure review, I loved the Amber Collection Blue. So, you know what that meant? We got Charlie, we got Delta. I love the Amber Collection. It is really a really cool collection of figures from Mattel. And I think just of how, especially like this one, the Delta is really great. Not to discount Charlie or anything, or Blue even. These look phenomenal. And I think the articulation will pretty much be mostly the same because the figure hasn't changed all too much. But man, I'm very excited to get these guys open and pose them in next to Blue. All we need is Echo, so which I'm pretty sure that's going to be the next one coming out, hopefully. But who knows? They may announce it because I think New York, because they're having a bunch of events going on. I know Hasbro has their Pulse event going on, basically showing off what they have coming for Marvel, Star Wars, Power Rangers, Transformers, and all that jazz. And I think I said Power Rangers already. But yeah, this was quite a haul from both Mythical Mountain and just generally other stuff. So yeah, if you guys liked the video, I hope you did. Remember to hit subscribe and hit that little bell notification so you can get notified of when we upload new videos every day. And hopefully we get to see more of the figures. You'll get to see figure reviews on Friday as always. I may space them out, but you know. But yeah, and also remember to hit the little like button. Little like button. So yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Peace.